Welcome to the Three Dot Podcast. No intro music. We will get to that. We're now fighting a copyright claim religiously. Um, but much like Christopher Columbus himself, when he went to the Queen of Spain and asked for money to sail across the world and take his three ships and discover a new land, I see the shoreline. The vision is coming into fruition here with Three Dot. We have Instagram that when I look at it, I almost get Stendhal syndrome, which we all know is coined from the French author who, upon looking upon the city and gazing out at Florence, was overcome with, heart symptoms and mental symptoms, and he was almost went crazy from how beautiful it was. Um, or anyone who stares at the Sistine Chapel ceiling, that type of thing. Classic works of art that could drive a man mad, you know. And we also do train conductor derailment jokes, prank calls, and dick jokes. So there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
With Three Dot.
Yeah, that's why we say, it's a podcast. It's not for anybody, but everybody who listens likes it so far.
It's for people who listen to it. It's about all it is.
Yeah,
that's all I ever wanted to do. If you listen to it, you get it. If you don't listen, I couldn't really tell you what it's about, which is the goal.
A little bit of bio for the new listeners.
Yeah, so we do want to do some character bio just for any new listeners. The one you're speaking now, I'm Nick. It's my vision. Three Dot was my baby about 5 years ago, planning, doing some very amateur recordings, and now we're here to this point, and we actually have a team around us that is starting to come into shape.
Yeah.
That includes James here, my co-host.
Yes, sir. That's me. I bring some content that Nick wouldn't normally look at, and we got some stuff in the works. I'm excited. Hopefully a new microphone for me soon.
I am looking at that.
And then video would be cool too.
Also looking at that. Another guy you will hear more often than anyone else will be Phil Flamignon. He's a local Toledo rapper.
Maybe more often, but yeah, he is.
Hopefully more often. But
Toledo
he's been on a few episodes so far. Murph is, if you ever hear us talk about him, he's our website operator, and he'll be our publisher once we get our blog site up, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I'll be editing, but he'll be doing the final look and final publish. And Microwave Guy is a guy we reference a lot. He's a coworker of mine, and he wants to come in and observe, maybe be a producer, which we'll get to later. But just a funny guy, good guy. Is there any other character bios? I think those are the main ones we reference.
Yeah, I'd say that's the core group so far. Seems like we got a pretty good connect on stickers, so...
Also true. Shout out to
cool.
Phoenix.
Yep, Phoenix Vampire Bites.
Vampire Bite, is that his company?
Yeah.
Nice. But we're on YouTube, 3 Dot Space Media. If you can't find us, just ask for a link, because some people have had issues with the search.
There's been others before us, but not as big as we'll be. So.
Age restricted, so you can't find us on certain Wi-Fis.
Yeah, that's part of the AI. If you cuss in the first 10 minutes of a video, it's gonna get age restricted. So,
and then if you want to drop a follow, not because I hate when people say follow us at whatever, but we are starting out.
Smash that like button and hit subscribe.
I hate that shit, but I'll say this once. Anywhere you want to find us, Twitter and Instagram at 3 Dot Podcast. On Instagram right now, we just have pictures of stickers that we put up. And we'll begin more because I just got a new batch of stickers here from James. Twitter, pretty much we tweet out links to the episode, so if you ever can't find it or don't have a link, you can find it on our Twitter. Let's see here. Also, if you don't want to follow us with your real name, you can perhaps do a parody account, which is something we've talked about.
Yeah.
There's an episode where we talked about Phil, big car guy Phil. So that could be your account, and then you just tweet at us random quotes that big car guy Phil would say, or big corporate James, because he's always out in the conspiracy. Would like to get back going more directly. If you listen to the first couple episodes, and if you've been a 3 Dot listener for a while, we used to use music as the intro and outro.
Yep.
And we never said who it was, but YouTube exposed us, first of all.
Very quick.
Very quickly found out who it was and put it onto the channel. But Vin Diesel has 2 songs on Spotify, and those are the 2 songs that were our intro and outro.
Yep.
And now there's a copyright claim on a few of our videos because of that.
Not so much. It seems like he might be alright with it, but we don't have contacts yet to reach out to him. If he does, I'd be more than happy to.
That is one
use
thing.
his
We should
music.
cold call his agent at some point.
For sure.
Find out some sort of information. DM him on Twitter or something. Because that'd be great.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of music.
Yeah.
The Vin Diesel songs. They were in my top Spotify list.
Hey, you're one of his top listeners, and I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a different podcast that uses him, but I don't think so. So this could be an opportunity for him to break out more in the music scene. He hasn't made a new song in a while.
That's very true.
Maybe he could release it here.
So then our blog site, I believe, will be up hopefully by the end of February, if not early March. Because I don't want to say next week, because Murph, great guy, but he's busy. We're busy. Just a lot of moving parts with that.
Full-time jobs and
right. And we have a few people ready to write for us. So that once we're up, we'll be good to go. But it's just a matter of getting all the ends met on that. We're caught up on episodes on YouTube from what we're going to post.
7 hours of content.
Yeah, there's a ton of content there, so you can catch up. 9 is like our new era 3-dot edition. So if you're looking for episodes 1 through 8, they don't exist right now. We could put them up at some point, but I like sending 9 out as like the first one that people hear.
Yeah, because the first 8 were mainly how we started, which was the Fantasy League.
Right.
We started with recaps of that, and I'm excited for when that comes back to branch off and have a different podcast just for that.
Right. Then I looked into an RSS feed, which I think I found a site that we could do it easily to get on Spotify.
Okay.
So we'll be on Spotify, YouTube,
Was that
Instagram,
the one that I showed
Twitter.
you, or did you decide
a different
okay.
one? We might use the one you showed me, but I was
Okay.
also looking at this one. So
cool. Yeah.
But we have options there.
Sweet.
Anything else housekeeping wise?
I'd like to shout out our.
Oh, I have that on here,
subscribers.
but I was just seeing if I had anything else on the list here. RSS feed. Oh yeah, well we'll shout YouTube subscribers, our dots as we're calling them,
Yeah.
working title. But shout out to Matt Church, Charlie, Mike, Jeff and Andy, Cody, Jenico, Jordan, Pete, and Sydney.
Yep.
We're up to, 10 subscribers right now on YouTube, and then a lot of these people are people that have reached out, supported us in some way. So just wanted to give a shout out to them.
For sure. Yeah, Matt Church went to school with the guy. Didn't even know he subscribed. Didn't even tell me. So.
Yeah, he was literally the
it.
first one that popped up because I literally posted something. Like we sent out the link to the first episode, which got like 70 views quick, and then boom, subscriber, and he was one of the ones that name popped up. So shout out to Matt Church, big time.
It also doesn't show us all of the subscribers. We haven't figured that out yet.
So
there could be people that we didn't mention. If
sorry.
so, yeah, sorry, but if we find out, or if you hear this and you're one of them, just let us know.
Yeah, 100%. Moving to slightly out of housekeeping, producer applications. We're going to look at actually putting up an application, but there's some early candidates, which is Dave at work, Microwave Guy, who has said he wants to observe, but could be a producer. Charlie, also at work, he wants to do some TikToks and shorts for us. And my cousin Alex in Florida wants to remotely send us clips, TikToks, Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
So the team...
Better weather than Ohio.
Also true. The team's growing, but it also could get bigger. And we were talking before the podcast started of what the vision down the road could be, where we might have other people doing shows on our network, other people running accounts, blogs. We want to expand the team, but we're not there yet. We're not going to pretend we're, way ahead of the game. Yeah, we're very much starting out, but just something to keep an eye on. And if you would like to produce or give it a shot, just let us know in any way.
Yeah.
Let's see here. From last week, the Moth Woman feedback was very high.
Yeah?
The Moth Brain Woman. Yeah, a lot of people liked that. Yes. And I do feel sorry for her, but don't act like a moth. You won't be called a moth. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's a saying, I think. I think it's saying on a bumper sticker.
Put it on a bumper sticker, if not.
If not, somebody.
Mike really wants to observe. He talked to me about it today. So
Did he explain more?
Well, he said it kind of like sarcastically, so like he's in on it.
Yeah.
But like, still he used the phrase observe, so we'll see.
Okay.
He also says it might be available for a call today, so maybe we'll just give him a shout out. A lot of feedback on your Chad Johnson take.
Yeah.
Where people were saying, one, cocky doesn't mean dumb. So just interpretation. And then they were also saying he very much was cocky, like, regardless.
Yeah, branding for sure.
Airing out the feedback I'm getting. So those were the main 3 from last week that I had feedback about. Did anyone reach out to you at all?
The only feedback I got, which Hess, I'm sorry.
Was he the one about the black screen?
Yeah, I took it. You know what? I took it and instantly responded instead of thinking about it. You're right. The black screen was bad.
Yep.
In my opinion,
we just wanted to get something out.
I thought you'd listen to it, while driving in the car, while doing something, while
that's
playing
the thing.
video
I don't
games.
picture someone like looking at the screen because like I listen to stuff sometimes like old radio shows or podcasts, and I don't look at the screen at all.
And his feedback was it was confusing, and what I think he meant was with the black screen.
There's no words. There's no where you're at. There's no
or who is speaking.
Yeah.
So
that's why we did character bios.
I get it. It's quality feedback.
So I think episode 9 is the only one that has just a black screen. I think I changed it for the rest of them.
Perfect.
Which I published 9 through 15. This is 16, right?
This will be 16, yep.
9 through 15 all this week, which was hell because I'm an idiot and I'm using 2 apps on my phone to do all this. I put in one app, render it, put in a different app to do my edits and overlays the words, and then put it back into other app to export it.
And this is why we need a producer.
This is exactly why I need a producer to do this. Download 2 apps, subscribe to them, and do content.
Yeah.
But we are caught up now, which is good.
Yep.
So, in other news, I terrified an elf today.
I'd love to hear it.
So there's this lab technician. Someone was working like in our lab today. Very short guy. I noticed him earlier because of how short he was.
Okay. And
later, I'm walking in the bathroom. It's a swinging door. So like he went to pull it as I was walking in, and he literally jumps back, says, "Oh," and I said, "Hey, sorry, man." And he doesn't say anything. He just like holds his chest, waits till I walk by, and then he walks out the door. When I open the door, he's still standing there, just like shaking his head.
You had rattled that man.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if something else was going on.
You almost DeMar Hamlin'd him. You called him.
There was no contact. There was no contact.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
why would a T. Higgins him?
Yeah.
He would have been DeMar Hamlin.
Yes.
To my T. Higgins.
Glad that guy's doing better too.
Also true. Well, if it's him, have you seen these conspiracies?
No.
Some people think it's a body double.
Oh yeah, no, I have seen it. His ears are different.
I think it's like half joking, but there's some people who I think are taking it very seriously.
It's similar to Gucci Mane. I've been saying for years he's a government clone.
Gucci Mane is.
After he went to prison, he's lost a shit ton of weight. His tattoos don't look the same, and part of his face structure seems different. So,
I guess I never really looked too much into Gucci Mane to begin with.
Gucci don't burr like he used to.
Okay. Is that what people are saying in the streets?
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
Gucci Mane. He's Lemonade, right? That was his big. I know he has a ton of songs, but
yeah.
Never been a big Gucci guy personally.
Yeah, I used to like to say burr, Gucci.
Also, I want to know, in your experience, have you ever thrown? Who would throw a screwdriver? Have you ever thrown a screwdriver to somebody?
I can't say I have. There was a guy when I used to do fencing, who I had to leave a job site because he decided.
I'm sorry, I thought you meant fencing like the swords.
No. I used to work for a company, doing fencing years ago, and there was a guy who I had to send home, and like I wasn't the boss, but the boss wasn't at the job site. I told him I wouldn't work with him anymore because he's throwing fucking tools. I'm like, dude, these aren't your tools for one, and for two. If you're going to be upset little baby, you're going to slow down the work.
Did he throw him hard? Or what? He was upset and throwing him?
Yeah, to the ground to people. He almost hit me in the head one time with a giant pole from fence, and I was like, yeah, you got to go home, man.
Like he was aiming for you? Or
no,
like
he's just being grumpy and just not paying attention. And I was like, yeah, this isn't how you're going to work with me. I'm not going to work this way.
Well, this one was more innocent, but still, like, I'm about a foot away, and...
Could have handed it.
Well, that's what I thought, so I reached my hand out, and then he, like, fake tosses it. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, he's fake tossing it. Then he actually throws it, and then natural instincts can take over. So I go to catch it behind my back, like a G, and then I reach my hand back and it just stabs me right in the hand. I started bleeding a little bit, and then in my mind, I'm like, who the fuck actually throws a screwdriver to somebody?
Psychopath.
Yeah, like, that's not ever a move I would make.
I'd like to say it might be your fault, though. He did give you a heads up with the fake throw. You should have
Well,
been
right,
more ready.
well, I was very ready because behind the back. First of all, does not hear that. I was ready.
All I'm saying is, old baseball, Nick, with faster reaction, you would have caught the handle.
No, I had the reaction. I'm literally thinking I'll try to catch the handle, but I mean, you don't. How many times do you catch a screwdriver?
Was it flipping?
How many times do you throw a screwdriver?
Did he throw it and it flipped?
Hold on. No, he threw it flipping. First of all.
Okay, so yeah, that's sketchy.
No, you need to throw it.
That's not a pass.
Handle first or something.
Throw some spiral on that.
He flicked his wrist. The wrist flick was there, so it started spinning, and then you're saying I should catch it. We just agreed no one throws them. So how much practice do I have of catching a
Did
screwdriver?
you guys have to like erase the number of like no days since accident?
No, I didn't have to leave. That's if you don't return to work.
Oh, okay.
Those are lost time incidents. So
it
we
stays
avoided
on.
that.
Stays on, baby.
Yeah.
Record
I don't know what's
stays.
at. We don't have one of those in our building. It's another building.
Okay.
So it could be at 0 for all I know. They might have counted it. But no, I was very thrown off by that. No apology either. Not that I expect one, but still a little bit of like, oh, my bad. It was like, no, you should probably go wash that. This has rust on it.
Oh, okay.
Which, first of all, looked it up. Rust doesn't cause tetanus, so fuck out of here. Also,
Really?
it doesn't. Yeah, no.
Okay.
From soil and feces.
So it'd have to be like a dirty nail or something. Like not just the rust, but dirt would have to be on it.
Right. Or if you have a cut and then you're on the ground. Something like that.
Okay.
But just the rust itself would not cause tetanus. Little medical info for you. But that was all he said. I'm like, okay, I'll go do that. But still, what the fuck?
Thanks, guy.
Gotta keep my eye on this guy.
For sure.
A little bit nervous.
What's he gonna
Another
throw
guy
next?
I have to keep an eye on. So we're upstairs. His office is up there. And I look to my right. This guy's holding an orange.
Okay.
Normal. I like
Yeah.
oranges. No problem eating oranges.
Healthy vitamin C.
Then he puts it up to his nose and takes an inhale so big his like chest moves. I can see him like breathing in this orange's aura. Does it twice and then just sets it on his desk.
Did not eat it?
Didn't eat it.
Okay.
At least not in that moment.
That's weird.
Yeah. What's behind that? I mean, what's the move there? I was trying to think of what the motivation would be. Like you just like citrus? I don't know. What?
Hey, all I'm saying is, like a teacher, just bring him in an orange. Or
Maybe I'll
see
set an
if you start smelling it.
I'll set an orange on his desk every day.
Maybe it wasn't his orange. Maybe somebody did. And he was like, what the fuck is going on here? Why do I have this orange on my desk? Now, I would smell it first.
He's checking
but
it for poison.
Probably.
Can
you smell poison?
that was my question. I don't,
Yeah.
because you're still inhaling it at that point.
Maybe it smelled like chloroform.
Oh, that was after, also, he goes, yeah, so that has rust on it. I was like, oh, don't worry. I put a little bit of rust in my body every day to prevent myself from dying from it, like old canes with poison.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Right. Yeah. A logical fear.
Yeah. Poison's making a comeback.
Yeah. Okay.
It's out here.
Ask Norfolk.
Well, that's poisoning a whole population. That's a big scale. Medieval times, they would have been impressed with that cloud.
They would have.
They would have harnessed that energy. You doing all right?
I'm doing fine. I'm vibing.
Do you want to go to one of yours, or do you want me to keep going here?
Sure. Somebody else to keep an eye on. I don't know if any of you guys, any listeners are like followers of strongman, but half Thor Bjornsson, he retired for quite a while.
He's like the heavy lifting, power lifting.
Yep, he did boxing for a while. And he has claimed he's making a return to lifting. He's going for breaking the world raw powerlifting record, which is impressive. That's your squat, bench, deadlift all together.
Right.
He's going for that. And then after that, he's going to do some strongman events, including the Arnold Classic in Ohio.
I do remember I used to always watch like the World's Strongest Man competitions growing up because we were just on TV all the time, like off season for
When I
other
was
sports.
working out, that's what I wanted to do. My goal is to like do not a big scale, but a smaller scale strongman competition at like age 30. I think it'd be cool. But I was probably never going to do enough
I was
steroids.
gonna say, so is it just known that everyone's on steroids for that
Yeah,
type of thing?
strongman, yeah.
Like you're
Strongman,
supposed
they're
to
okay
be?
with it.
Right, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like it's encouraged almost.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just wouldn't have a chance if you didn't.
Right, because those guys are unreal. I mean,
Yeah, jacked out of their minds.
so you wanted to do you were willing to do the steroids and everything at that time? Like
No, I was going to do like powerlifting stuff and then just do, again, like local strongman competitions. I was really impressed by my grip strength, so figured I could do some of that stuff and see what I could do.
From that one grip strength test, you're like, I got something potential.
No. That was like my best lift when I was working out was farmer's carries. I would do 200 pounds each hand, walk 50 yards one way and 50 yards back. So Or no, sorry, it's 25 yards. I'm way
I was
overselling
gonna
it.
say
50
easy
yards
solo.
total.
Huh.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I always told people I was just training for when I retire to carry groceries really well. I can always one trip it.
Why don't you go back to it? Why don't you get back into powerlifting?
I plan
Just
on
because
getting back into lifting, and my back
I was
still.
gonna say.
Yeah, I'm worried about messing my back up more than it already is. So we'll see.
Your back was screwed up from the car accident, correct?
It was
the first one.
Screwed up from the first one, then re-screwed up from the second one. Yeah.
The one that I was with you for.
Yep.
Because that one didn't feel like a lot, but I remember the next day you called me.
It's just my spine is already jacked,
right.
So like I have bulge discs from my L4 to my S1. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah.
It's like 3 bulge discs in my back. Yeah. Yeah, just back stuff.
I would bet to a tag on the channel. Back stuff. Chiropractors.
Well, your last one.
Yeah, we did get one view because I tagged train derailments under the video, and someone searched train derailments and watched. It doesn't tell me how long they did, but at least one person checked it out just based off that.
I like that stat.
The first car accident was a flip. I mean, that was a bad accident, right? I mean, I remember you telling us about it, or telling me. Not. I don't think we did it on the pod at all.
No, yeah,
I was before that.
Manager at Best Buy, Geek Squad delivery. Somebody called off. I offered. This is why you don't offer to help. Don't ever go above and beyond at work, guys. I'm sure your bosses will love that one. But yeah, I offered to help deliver, and then guy fell asleep and flipped the box truck full of appliances with me in it on my side. So.
And ever since, your powerlifting dream was over.
Yeah, you really fucked me on that one.
You just sue him for hypothetical gains from powerlifting.
No, I never wanted to take it out on him, man. I didn't think it was his fault. I mean, he caused
it
the
definitely
crash,
was his fault.
Right, but I don't know why he fell asleep.
I'm with you, and that's a very nice way to be about it, but that's not a great justification.
Yeah.
I don't know why he fell asleep. But he still fell asleep.
Could have another job, could have sleep apnea, bigger guy. I don't know.
So?
In my head, he didn't go into that thinking I'm going to fall asleep and fuck both of us up.
Yeah, but that's not how you determine fault in an accident.
No, it's definitely his fault.
It's negligence.
But I just wasn't going to go after him.
Sure.
For it.
What's his name? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I've never been in a horrible accident. Like, I've been in a couple minor ones. Like, the one that was the most minor was the one we had. But I don't think I've ever been in like a really bad one. Is that the only one you've ever been in that's been terrible?
No. I've been in. I just realized this the other day. I've been in an accident every car I've owned except my 2 most recent. Well, no, except now my work car.
So you're due, is what you're saying.
Hopefully not. Not in the work car. Don't want that. But I didn't cause any of them. I'd like to state that as well. But my first accident, I had a motorcycle before a car. Somebody decided to cut me off when I was doing like 35 and hit the brakes. Front brake locked on me. Again, I was like 16 at the time. So I probably hit the brakes too hard, but also didn't expect to be cut off doing 35. Bike, front brake locked up. Bike flipped over on top of me. That wasn't so cool. And then my old car, my first car was a Subaru WRX. Had it tuned up to like 300 all-wheel drive horsepower. Pretty fast little car. Falling behind a school bus, so I'm definitely doing the speed limit. Some girl didn't stop at a stop sign because she must have thought we had one, even though the bus went in front of me through it. She was texting, ran the stop sign, T-boned the fuck out of my car.
So. Texting and driving, man. My grandpa drove a bus for the high school for a long time, and twice he got rear-ended from my buddy, like people I knew, because they were texting.
Oh, Jesus.
And they hit the back of the bus.
The big yellow school bus?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's why we need headrests off the steering wheel.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that'll save.
That one's not on episode 9. Anything pre-episode 9 we can do again.
That's true.
We can recycle
all
material.
Fresh content.
But I do think there's potential in that product idea of putting a headrest in front of the car instead of behind us.
Yeah.
For how much people are taking. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but as a gag gift, I think there's money there.
Probably.
Why not? I was about to call it genius, but I actually, as I said that, I looked at my list. Do you think the term genius is overrated now? Do you think it's thrown around too much?
Yeah, I think it probably is overused.
I feel like everything's so like everyone wants everything to be the best it ever was, like now, for their current time. So I feel like genius, like all that stuff has just lost meaning.
Also, geniuses are like one step away from like having special needs. Like they
because they're so
They probably should be going to like special classes, right? You couldn't put a genius in normal classes. I mean, you can,
right?
But you're hindering them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna keep talking there. My bad.
No.
But along with that, do you think so? Like the chat, was it GPT?
Chatbot GPT, yeah.
Yeah. So all this AI, you think that's going to? A lot of people are saying it will enhance learning and all that. But do you think it will actually eliminate thought because you don't have to really think as much? You can type in a premise and then that fills it in for you.
It makes me want to go back to college while you still can, because college students have been using it to pass.
But that's what I mean. So literally, there's no thought anymore. Like the creativity in general is lost because you're not really filling in anything. You're given a premise and then letting the computer tell you what's a good idea.
Well, and these bots have gotten so good. They have passed, and I have this stat here. They have passed every single test to earn a medical license and a business degree. That's how good they've gotten.
Well, one's a lawyer too, right? We didn't do that story, but
oh yeah, there's an AI lawyer.
There's an AI lawyer who's going to be in a court. Was it they were actually going to let him try a case?
No, yeah, they're in a case. I didn't follow up on it. I probably should have. A win for AI software, which I think is pretty cool. Somebody has developed software that now will change the way the actor's face looks when they speak to match it to the language it's now being dubbed in. So, for example, when we were younger, I can remember watching Godzilla on VHS, and if you watch the English version, the Japanese people will be talking so, like, their mouths are still moving, but they've already said what they need to say in English. So, yeah, that'll be cool for a lot of listeners around the world who now will have it dubbed, and it'll actually match up, and it looks
Did you watch Squid Game?
Some of it, not all of it. I watched, like, 2 episodes.
Did you use subtitles or dub?
I use subtitles.
Same. Well, I was just curious because I kind of went into it because a lot of people did dub. But the reading part didn't bother me. I was like, this makes more sense because I couldn't stand the difference that you're talking about.
A big L for AI, which I found out recently, didn't know it existed.
Are we just railroading over to Squid Game's topic?
I don't have much to add. Do you?
Well, I would like some sort of response. We're back to you just be like, right?
I watched 2 episodes. I mean, that's...
You didn't like it? You really didn't like it?
No, I did. Grace doesn't like death and blood, and I was watching it with her. So she didn't enjoy much. Then I
how's she deal with your serial killing?
I keep that in to myself.
Oh, okay.
How do you think I'm so successful?
That's also true. I'll go into our true crime podcast. I'll pitch later. But you didn't watch it on your own time?
No.
Okay.
I don't watch a lot of stuff on my own time, to be honest.
I mean, me neither.
In my own time, I play video games or something else.
That's also true. That's what I do. Sorry. Go ahead with your important AI.
Well, it's something I didn't know existed.
Big L.
But there's deep fake porn websites.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, because it got really big. Because somebody who I used to watch and actually get some topics from, his name's Atrioc on YouTube. I thought he did great on covering business topics because he used to be marketing for like NVIDIA and worked at Twitch for a while. But he got caught with a link to a deep fake porn website. And these websites will take like famous people in the internet and make a porno like of them. So it's essentially their face on a body.
Right.
Weird shit. So if you watch that, probably don't. I think that's pretty deplorable. The people didn't ask for their bodies to be used in that way. And they're also not getting money for it.
True. Yeah, was that the guy it was like his friend's girlfriend? Was that the same guy?
Yeah, one of his other girlfriends is a big YouTuber, streamer.
And he had a link to her?
She was on the website. No, he didn't have a link,
okay.
But that same website.
Because I thought it was
That's
her.
how she found out that she had been on the website. And it just feels really wrong.
Right.
Like, you have to find out that way.
Right.
And you have to find out, now my friend could have been watching her.
Well, no,
deep fake.
Well, sure. It also, I mean, an older version of that would have been like, was it that website where it just posts nude scenes from movies and stuff? But it's like a porn website. It's like they didn't ask to be...
Right, but they become
pornographic actresses.
So they know it could happen. And again, they're not getting money for it. So
but again, it's deep fake for a reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I fully get why people didn't want to be on the website. I do understand that. I just don't know how you go about removing that content.
I don't know. Hopefully people just stop being so deplorable and stop making it.
Well, that's not going to happen. Society's breaking down all around of us. Do we need to talk about potlucks again? Because we didn't. That's not on episode 9.
We'll bring that up another time when it comes up at work or something.
Oh, there is a poker night this weekend.
Oh, for work?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not going.
All right. I didn't think you were.
I thought about it, but I decided not to.
Okay, well, if you didn't say that at work, now everybody knows that you
Well, no, people know I'm not going because you
Okay.
had to sign up by today.
Oh, okay. Too afraid to lose money?
No, I'm actually. Well, I haven't played in forever, so I wouldn't. I guess I'm good. I used to be fairly decent at it. I mean, I wasn't
Texas Hold'em?
killing it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the only way to go.
but I think it's. I want to say it's Saturday night. It's just like one. I don't think Haley and I are both of. I think we have plans in general, but I don't. Saturday night, I don't think I'm going to that. In general, I don't. I can't see myself
Not how
on
you want to
Saturday
spend
night.
your Saturday?
Right. I know some people are going. I know Microwave guy's going,
Hell yeah.
and
I hope he wins.
him alone, I almost thought about going, but I was like, he doesn't outweigh the negatives.
It could have been great content.
I know. I literally almost went for content, but then I also don't want to sit there and have a conversation about the podcast in front of other people who don't listen.
And you're worried that might happen with Mike? You guys might just start talking about it?
Jeff and Andy both listen, so I don't want it to be about the podcast.
Well, now they might just talk about it without you.
I don't think that'll happen either. I don't think it comes up that organically for other people. Like people talk about it with me, but I don't think people talk about it to each other.
That's
But
fair.
Charlie's a big listener now too. He's a new fan. We shout him out with the dots.
Cool.
But I sent him 9, and then he came in today, and he goes, "Fuck Denny's."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" It was from the prank call that we did to Denny's. We said we're gonna do a prank call this time.
Yeah.
Shit.
We need to do something. We'll call somebody.
Should we just call a diner and ask them if they think deep fake pornography should be removed?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I mean, if you want to,
I'm saying
here
it's
for
a
it.
moral outrage. I'm saying why don't we do that?
I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'm here for it.
I'm not saying we should or shouldn't. I'm just asking the question. Why are you opposed to it?
I think those people in the service industry, I mean, they're probably not going to answer much or
Let's call a grocery store.
Yeah.
Less busy.
Yeah, there you go. We'll call her Kroger. Local Kroger.
I'm just asking about deep fake pornography.
It seems weird.
I don't know if that's a topic that enough people know about. You know what I mean? Because then
we should have asked him about the egg smuggling.
Asked Kroger about the egg smuggling.
Yeah.
Well, we wasted that gem on Denny's, and she gave us some answers until she didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have more deep fake or AI?
Nope. I'm waiting on you. What do you got?
What do I got? You think if the founding fathers had a podcast, they would be able to solve like network problems easily because they're smart?
What?
Like if they had a podcast,
Okay.
if they had the technology to do a podcast,
Sure.
do you think they'd be like us, or if there's a network problem, it's like, oh shit, and then we got to work out for a while, or do you think they're smart enough to just do it? They had big ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd be doing it in Morse code probably.
They just,
Until Alexander Graham Bell came out with that telephone.
well, the problem is they would just get doxxed by the British immediately if it was online. They'd get hacked and doxxed and fucking...
What's all these guys talking shit about us and our
Yeah,
accents?
they're trying to start their own fucking country over there. No, they're not. Listen to this podcast. Fucking Betty Frank over there is really talking shit. He's getting a little fly in the mouth.
Get rid of that Paul Revere guy before he delivers the message.
It's just a podcast of the founding fathers just roasting the redcoats. Why do they even wear red if I just doxed?
You know what, George Washington? Why do you have slave teeth and some wood teeth?
Some of each? Is
Yeah.
that what it was?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if it was all one or the other.
It was normal back then for them to use slave teeth.
To put it in as their own teeth.
Yep.
That couldn't have looked good.
I wouldn't imagine.
Because the portraits of them, not a lot of teeth in them, ever.
Better than no
I
teeth.
noticed that. Is it? I feel like you'd be better off gumming around.
Just gumming it.
Yeah, I'm just picturing George Washington's teeth. That had to be horrifying. Although back then, if it was normal, but if you had a podcast, you think they talked about it? Do you think anyone gave him shit about that?
The commoners.
Like, well, if everyone had bad hygiene, sure, but like, there had to be at least one person who was like, George, listen, I gotta tell you,
You imagine
your
somebody
new
like
teeth
in their
are
20s still has their teeth.
right. And they'd just be like, George, I gotta tell you, that's not the look. That's simply not it.
This ain't it, Chief.
That's not gonna work.
Also, your powder wig sucks.
Why was that a thing?
I have no idea. The weirdest thing.
And why did we keep doing it when the British did it? The revolution should have been like, fuck these wigs.
Instantly.
That should have been the first thing we did.
They're itchy lice getting them.
Lice getting wigs?
You'd imagine back then if they're wearing them every day.
Yeah, delouse every time you walk around.
Maybe that's where Spartan Chemical started.
Dude, how did George Washington get laid with a wig and wooden teeth? That's my question.
Yeah, money and power.
B2B.
Forcefully, I don't know.
Just own the military.
Yeah, that probably helped.
You had to own the military or land back then. That was it. No one else was getting laid.
Imagine all that unclaimed land. You're like, oh yeah, this is mine now. Because I built that cabin.
Yeah, you could just build a house and now it's yours, right? I mean,
yeah.
Till one day it's not. They come and get you. Hunt the bison, don't let you eat.
Big founding fathers.
There it is. Big corporate James. The East India Trading Company just comes and takes all your shit.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk more about the founding fathers?
I don't have much to add.
I'm saying it was a little...
Do you ever ask somebody when they have to sign something, ask them for their Hancock?
I don't. I mean, I know what it means, but yeah. No, I've never once asked for that. I would just be like, can you sign this? I would never say to Hancock fan. It feels
You don't ask for a handy? Hey, give me a quick handy.
I've asked for that, and I've gotten it, but I'm not involved in the signature.
Okay. Proud of you.
Well, if they say, like, names were based off what you did.
Yeah.
So how did Hancock come about?
You know what they say. You can be a founding father, or you can be one of the first to sign the Declaration, and as soon as you hand job one guy, you're a Hancock.
You're Hancock forever. Hancock's for life.
Yeah.
I always said 2 birds in a hand with 1 hand and a cock.
You do be saying that a lot, in an alarming amount.
I have a lot of catchphrases on this episode. John Hancock.
Yep.
John, too. A strong name.
John Smith?
Less of a strong name.
He's pretty strong.
He was strong, but you think the name John Smith is strong?
I think so. I mean, I'm James Smith. I think that's pretty strong.
Yeah, I think it's a weak name.
No, I think Ryder?
Yeah.
You guys
like a horse rider? Yeah, you're goddamn right we did.
That's awful.
Not we, I haven't, but...
Smith? You know, my people were forging shit.
Forging signatures. Forging Hancocks.
We were against the Founding Fathers when it started.
You said a fake declaration. Yeah. Signed by all redcoats.
Wait, no, I wasn't with the British, okay?
Yeah, you were.
I just didn't want control.
I did want to talk about it's called The 9.
Okay.
Because I think it's at 9 a.m. Real genius.
Wow.
And this is going to be a start of a campaign. This is why I want to get a producer as well to pull audio from stuff.
Okay.
This is a show on 13 ABC in Toledo. So fucking cringe. It's like a Entertainment Tonight style show. They do like gossip, and it's just 2 newscasters.
Really?
And it's a man and a woman, and they have the chemistry of like a murderer and then the victim's family when they read statements. That's the chemistry that they have.
That's awful.
It's atrocious. And like today, I forget what he said, but he said something like, "Don't tell my wife," and she just goes, "Okay," and then looks at the camera. Dude, that's why I want the audio, and I want us to be able to watch it and react to it. But it is so bad. And it's part of why I wanted to do podcasts. Is so much content out there is just horrible, and it's on networks and shit, and it's atrocious. And
yeah, give us some of that money.
There's a program director out there who's like, "We're gonna call it The 9. It's at 9 a.m. People are gonna look forward to The 9. It's 9. Don't you get it? Like that's the way they fucking think.
That is to me what it worries me that we have a show on TV called The Today Show. I hate.
You've talked about this before.
Yeah, not on the pod though.
Yeah, you did.
I did?
It might have been pre-episode 9.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, I hate that. I hate the fact...
Yeah, I don't get this hate.
When you explain it to somebody who's never seen it, you'd have to describe it as, well, what's on it? Well, we talk about stuff going on today.
Yeah, it's just like current news. It's current events.
Yeah, it's just... I think it's a stupid name. I think that's one step away, like I said on the other episode, like from music that's just called happy. It's like you listen to it and it's just happy music. I do remember this take.
I'd rather have that as a show than 2 local Toledoans telling me about Hollywood gossip.
But if they did it better, would you care as much that it's The 9?
No, I hate both.
You just hate the content. All right.
Just have a show. Even if it's just their names, that's better than The 9. It just... Because you know a program director thought of that.
Yeah.
Was like, it's going to be The 9. Why? It's at 9 o'clock. Oh my god, that's fucking genius. Genius. Throw it around.
That was like at Best Buy, we used to sell those scooter Segway things.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the names of like the biggest brand was Swagtron. And like, so you had a bunch of people who make good money sitting around a boardroom and some old guy who was probably detached from reality. Like, what name should we name it?
Swagtron?
And he's like, oh, kids love swag. and Transformers, Swagtron. And enough people were like, yeah, let's use that as the name.
That's what I mean. When you get to a certain level, you have to naturally be out of touch with the rest of society, I think, and like pop culture.
100%.
So then you just hear bits and pieces of it, and they're like, oh, this is how we'll reach out to them. And meanwhile, they just get made fun of and roasted for it.
Like the bacon commercial.
I didn't hate that as much. I don't think that's true.
I thought it missed its mark, but hey.
I don't think it's a great commercial, but I also don't think was that bad. I mean,
yeah.
How good can a commercial be?
Some of them were pretty good.
But
a lot of the good ones, like the Super Bowl commercials, a lot of the good ones don't do it anymore.
This year the Super Bowl commercials were mid.
Yeah, mid
to say
at
the
best.
least. There was a good one with the dog tearing up the house. Then they're buying a crate, and you think they're getting rid of the dog, and then it turns out they gave him a puppy.
Yeah.
So that he can, be
wholesome.
occupied. That was about the best one. That's the only one I remember. Too. Which one was that?
It started off with that song, "In the Arms of an Angel,"
mm-hmm.
and you think it's gonna be the sad about like the animals that you have to donate money to,
right?
And then the girl's sitting down with a dog in a tent, and I just air quoted dog, but there's no video.
Yeah. I like when you do.
And then the guy stands up and he cracks a bush light, and he's like, "This isn't that commercial." And also,
that is I missed that. I didn't see that one. That's pretty good.
It was good.
I like the old E-Trade ones were good with the baby.
Yeah. Budweiser used to be
Budweiser
great.
Clydesdales.
Yeah, they stopped during the pandemic, I think. They decided instead of spending all that money on commercials, they would donate it. So they donated that money.
What the fuck? Why? Fuck that.
I don't know.
It is outrageous how much that costs.
And I think that's why people are getting away from it.
Yeah, why would you?
It's easier marketing styles. You could get stickers and sticker slap them all around town.
Exactly. Did we talk about where... Well, we've put them on some gas stations.
Some bars, some bathrooms.
And I've handed some out. 3 Dot Media, 3 Dot Podcast is on the sticker. So if you see one of those, text it to us, tweet it at us.
Yeah, let us know.
Message it on Instagram, 3 Dot Podcast on Gmail if you want to email it. Real modern stuff.
A trend that I hate right now.
Oh, okay.
The big red boots. Have you seen them?
Yes, I have seen them.
$350 big red boots.
Why?
I have no idea.
Why are they that much, first of all? And who... I get it where it's like, oh, these cost a lot and they're recognizable, so I'm going to buy them, and then you know that I have money to buy these boots.
Yep.
But in general, why the fuck would you wear them? They look horrible. It looks like video game.
They can't be comfortable.
It looks like a video game character.
They got to be impossible to get off.
I would imagine.
Yeah, you look like Ultraman.
And you're just walking around in those. What? I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Hopefully they go away quick.
I don't think they will.
I think they're trying to buy in since Yeezys aren't as big now.
Just what makes them outrageous footwear.
Yep, something else that people will start spending ridiculous amounts of
money. And then they'll have a spokesman who's anti-Semitic. We've seen this a million times.
Yeah. It's a tale as old as time.
Like Ben Franklin. No, okay. Is it rude to not hold a baby? Like if you're meeting a baby for the first time, is it rude to, like, if they say, do you want to hold it? Is it rude to say no?
I think some people might think it's rude.
Not with some people. I'm saying, do you personally think it's rude?
I don't often ask to hold babies, but if they're handed to me, I hold them out of obligation. Because I feel like I feel like I'd be being rude if I said no. But if I'm sick or something, I tell them, don't fucking let that baby near me.
Well, that's a different thing. I'm saying just in general. Like, I was asked to hold, do you want to hold a baby? And Haley was holding it, and then they're like, do you want to hold it? I just said no. And then I felt weird for saying no. And it might just be me going, over anxious about it.
Are you afraid they're too fragile?
No, one, I just don't want to hold a baby in general.
Too much responsibility.
Well, two, there's that. Then your anxiety kicks off, and if you have anxiety anyway, you're sitting there and you're like, you get impulsive. Like, what if I drop? Like, what if something happens that goes wrong?
As soon as you pick it up, you feel like the clumsiest human.
Right. What if... Right. And I was just like, I'm just going to avoid the situation by saying no. But then I felt worse for saying no than I think if I would have just held it.
I think it's fair. You have your reasons.
I suppose. I didn't voice any of them.
Yeah,
I just said no.
So they probably think you're being rude.
Not the same at all. But,
no,
but
it's a transition.
I was... I hate when people talk about you while you're eating or what you're eating. Have you ever had that situation?
Not often, but yeah, it feels weird when it does happen.
Well, like I went to lunch the other day during our work day.
Subway?
Yes, actually,
God damn
chicken
you.
bacon ranch. I came back in, and again, this is all a me thing because other people don't give a fuck. But I come in, and Subway took forever, so I'm late. Everyone's sitting down in there. I walk in, and I already get that just anxious, like I'm walking in, everyone else is already eating, and
Everybody's watching me
everyone
carry
has
my sub.
well they literally are because they're all facing me the way the break room set up, and then I eating it. I'm like, please, no one say something. I'm just trying to eat my fucking sandwich, and sure enough, someone goes, "What you got there?" First of all, Subway sandwich, clearly, obviously. So they're just trying to
They
make
have good branding, you can tell.
right. They worked hard on that, and then they're like, and then everyone looks because he's announcing across the room, and then I'm like in mid bite. I'm just like, why? Why put me in this? Why are we all in experiencing this now?
I purposely take my breaks when other people don't. Like now I'm on the road, so I don't have that issue as much.
Right.
But when I eat in the office, I purposely try to take my break when I'm alone because that's my break time. I don't like talking.
Right.
Don't sit down and have a conversation.
I don't
with
mind
me.
some social interaction there because like if Mike's in there, we'll chop it up about random shit, or if there's a soap opera on and we'll make fun of it. Hint, hint. We're gonna do that episode. But and then he's like, "What'd you get?" But I will say because it was Dave and Dave listens and I love Dave. It was also he was referencing it because we talked about Subway on the podcast.
Makes
so
sense.
like that's why he did it.
That's your fault.
But it was funny. He goes, "What is it a meatball?" And I'm like, "Nah, chicken bacon ranch." And he goes, "Eh."
You're supposed to be meatball guy.
Well, he goes, "Eh," and I go, "I don't give a fuck. Thanks for your review." But again, I don't give a fuck was very real. Like in my head, I was like, quit commenting on my fucking sandwich. I'm just trying to eat it. Stop it. Like,
Do it more, Dave. You know what? Now
no, he definitely will.
Everybody at
You
work,
know,
now every time you eat, they're going to talk
that's
about
the thing is Dave definitely will be on me about that. So now I'm just not gonna take breaks. I can't do it.
Yep.
I'm
No more food for you.
Yeah, I need to get paid overtime because I'm skipping breaks.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm just voicing that out there.
Good luck.
I put on here. I don't know what this meant. I put other people bore me so much.
Okay.
I don't know what that meant.
I don't know.
I'm trying to work through it.
Okay. It's
Well,
odd that you put it on there and it
something
brought
had
it
to
up
have
and you
happened.
don't remember.
Well, I mean, it's on here. I'm going to talk about it. I think. I don't think this was at work. I think it was. Might have been when Haley and I were out somewhere.
Okay.
And other people just talking about their lives drives me crazy, which it shouldn't, which is very rude on my part.
But it's too mundane for you?
Yes, that's what it is. It's just like small talk bothers me in general. Like I like making fun of stuff or like talking about something that I'm interested in. Very narcissistic of me. But literally if it's just two people talking while we're in a group about something that I don't care about, it's very hard for me to pay attention and not just look miserable.
All right.
And I'm just making this up because I'm thinking that's what this is based off of. So I just outed myself as a narcissist in this.
All right. That's a you problem, and
Dave did
probably won't change.
Dave did have a good idea that. So we had included those bits, those outtakes, the calls.
Yeah.
He said, to improve it, we should become a trained conductor for 5 years, learn the tools of the trade, then come back and record those again.
It'd be more accurate.
It would be more accurate, not necessarily as topical.
No.
But
no.
But what we lose in that, we'd make up for in quality.
Yeah. You know what, Dave? Why don't you sign up?
No, I think
CSX or Norfolk are hiring.
Oh, you want him to be a conductor?
Yeah, he can give us the take.
That's true.
The tips of the trade.
Your first assignment as producer: go become a trained conductor
for 5 years.
For 5 years.
We'll see you then.
Then come back. Do you say anything about this Alabama gunplay?
No.
So I'm going into this half-assed, but there's an Alabama basketball player named Brandon Miller.
Okay.
He allegedly, or I think they know he did this, but he took a gun and drove it and gave it to a former teammate who then used that gun to commit a murder.
Jesus.
He played last night.
Okay.
This came out 2 days ago.
Wow.
So, but there's other... I was trying to find stories on this, and a lot of people are saying what happened wasn't illegal because he didn't know what the use of the gun would be. I believe is.
I think you can still get in trouble for it.
I 100% think so. I'm just saying. I think that's what people are trying to nail down is that he didn't know that the intent wasn't there on his end. But then other people are saying he was there or like he could have prevented it, which obviously he could have. He gave the weapon. But I just thought it was fascinating. And then his coach was kind of like, "Yeah, wrong place, wrong time." Like
I don't have too many friends that I would just deliver a gun to.
Why are you delivering a gun to anyone? Like,
right.
Yeah, 100%. Like, why would you not think you can get in trouble for that? Why would you? Why do you think someone needs one if they're not under immediate threat? Like what
I
scenario?
think that kid's screwed. I think he's probably gonna get in trouble.
I think he's a top prospect.
There's probably text messages and stuff that implicate him.
I don't know what the full story is, so I just wanted to talk about it because he did play, and it fucked up one of my bets because they lost by 2. But it was just fascinating to me that he played and the coach was still there while this is happening. Like, I feel like at the very least you bench him.
Shooter's gonna shoot.
You
know?
Sure. Lockdown defense. But I just thought it was interesting because I feel like at the very least to cover your own ass, if you're the coach, you don't play him.
Yeah, probably.
Like, it just for optics or whatever. But at the same time, if you truly don't believe he did anything wrong,
you have to play him.
You have to play him because otherwise, if you don't play him, you're saying, "Yeah, no, there's more to this."
Right.
So I don't know how I would handle it. I just know that it's a fucked up story and it came out of nowhere.
Coach Ryder would handle it.
That's the thing is I don't know the details that the coach probably knows or is being told. You know, I do think I would probably bench him for the first half, suspension. Just be like, hey, listen, you delivered a gun that was used in a murder. Yeah, sit the first half out, bud. Go get him in the second.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know what you do there.
Speaking of gunplay, ranked Call of Duty.
Yes.
I think they did it phenomenally. As the first time I've been able to play Call of Duty in a competitive scene.
Go off, kid.
And also, I forgot until this new Call of Duty and how much I played it, how much I love the shit talk on Call of Duty.
You big on the mic?
Big on the mic, or just listening sometimes. Especially because you kill somebody, you get to hear what they say. And then
I have seen that.
And then in the intermission lobbies, you get to talk shit to the other team.
Right.
It's amazing.
Well, it's the same as it always was, right? With intermission lobbies.
But a lot of games have gotten rid of that. They're afraid of the toxicity.
That's the thing. Is
Embrace it. It's the reason we play the game.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people play, which doesn't make it better when it does get personal or people looking up IPs or people actually go crazy with that shit. But in terms of just shit talking, it's an outlet. Would you rather have that person walking around with all that inside than just in society?
Yeah.
Probably not.
It is odd when you get to hear a kid probably curse for the first time against you.
That was always fun. Because I haven't played Call of Duty in forever. It fell off for me.
There's also a very weird trend, which has blown my mind, and it's just because of the internet and because of Call of Duty. But if you play Warzone, it's pretty common for somebody to say, type 1 if racist, and then the majority of the lobby will type 1. Before you jump out of the plane. And I'm like, what a weird trend. The funnier one I've seen is jump if gay.
So then everyone has
people jump out of the plane, yeah.
Roasted. Got him.
Boom.
That's kind of funny.
Playing the mental game.
It is, because when you're spending the whole time worrying about people thinking you're gay.
I gotta jump late. I gotta jump last. Nobody can see me.
I'm staying on. I'm staying on this one.
I'll ride it to next round.
I'll sit out. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Oh, this one was supposed to be in that other category where I was doing social stuff. Group text.
Okay.
Not a fan. That's all I got.
All right.
No,
okay.
When we were all in the group, and it happened when we got engaged. Everyone saying congrats, or when Jenico's birthday.
Yeah.
Or your dinner thing.
Yeah.
It's similar because when I was gonna text the link or whatever to you and Phil, you're just send it to me. Well, I forget what we were talking about, but that was at your place.
Oh yeah.
It's I would rather that just be individualized, but I get birthdays and stuff, but the dinner stuff, I'm fuck, I don't know these people. You're trying to sound funny or you want to be cool.
Everybody responded outside of the group. But
really?
my idea was now you at least have an idea of who's coming, but everybody who said they were coming or weren't coming sent it individually. Other
really?
than couple.
I was just saying I saw one or two of them, and I was just I'll talk to you.
Fair enough.
I want to do a true crime podcast.
Okay.
Under our 3 Dot Network.
Okay.
Where we actually commit a murder. and then the episodes are us trying to cover it up.
You had me in the first half.
Yes.
Okay. Second half, not so much.
Why not?
I think the murder part, committing a crime,
Okay.
I think is probably worrisome, especially in then talking about it.
But that's what makes it great content.
Sure.
Like, we'll have to be on the run to do it. I'm not saying we'll be able to record here every week and be like, hey, this is exactly where we are. We'll have to go on the run.
Snowden, send us your travel plans.
Exactly. Snowden, McAfee. We can go to the Everglades. We can do something. And then every episode, it's like, oh shit, they just dropped another one. They're leaving clues.
Where are they?
Exactly. That would be a national phenomenon.
I think, yeah, it'll probably happen in the future.
Or we fake it.
I don't think we're doing it.
We'll do a fake true crime podcast where we say we committed a murder.
And then get investigated.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But they won't find anything.
Because there's nothing to be found.
Or is there? That's the key. That's the hook.
Okay. I wasn't about it. Now I am. Now I'm in.
That goes in my TLC show I want to pitch. It doesn't go into it, but I want to pitch a TLC show. Dave and I were vamping on this.
Okay.
Because we were saying, forget how it came up, but he wants to run a scam on like Tinder or like a dating app.
Okay.
And like at first it was like get money from it, and then I was like, well then you like actually show up. You're like, hey, yeah, sorry, it's me. You want to go bowling or something? So then they end up going bowling together. Dave and this man, Carl, in the scenario.
Okay.
Then they go bowling, they have a great time. They end up falling in love.
Okay.
They move to Vermont and open a B&B. They run a bed and breakfast in Vermont.
In their own bowling alley?
No, just a bed and breakfast.
Okay.
And they're in Vermont. Dave leaves his wife to go do this. Because him and Carl just bond that well.
I'm sorry,
over
Dave's
bowling.
wife.
Right.
Carl's just
Well, it gets better if she shows up again. Don't you worry. Then after a few years, she shows up at the B&B. She doesn't know she's on a trip and just happens to run into Dave. And then Dave then leaves Carl and goes back to his wife to raise his daughter as a lesbian. In Greek.
What a wonderful story.
I think it's a great show.
Put it together.
I think we could do it.
I'll watch that one alone if I have to.
And then they keep going back to Carl to check in, and his life just falls apart because he was married too.
Dave was his rock.
He was married too. He left his wife. Him and Dave didn't plan on this. They were both catfishing each other. Then they both ended up in Vermont. Now they have this life together. They have a daughter. They have a raising as a lesbian. And then Dave leaves with the daughter to go back to his wife, and Carl has nothing. Carl just becomes an alcoholic.
Dave's a savage.
The bed and breakfast breaks down all around him. It's just cluttered. He's just making pancakes for no one. He just walks out, puts them on the table. No one's there. He's serving mannequins and trying to like put food in their mouth. Really scary stuff.
Awful.
I think it's a great show.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll watch it.
You want to be a producer on that?
Sure. Yeah, I'll put in the work.
Dave says he's in, so
that's good.
No problems
it's
there.
It's good that he agrees.
Yeah.
Something else that is pretty crazy, in my opinion, is that Kick. I know we talked about it a little bit. Just to give you an idea, the Kick streaming service.
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know, there's a pretty big Twitch streamer who was gambling named Trainwrecks, and he started a new streaming service called Kick with the company that he used to gamble with called Stake. Him and another big streamer, Aiden Ross, on that.
Who's cringe?
Yeah, Aiden Ross cringe as hell. On that service, stream the Super Bowl live, and there are no way they have rights to it.
Okay.
Like I feel like the NFL is going to come after them for sure.
Now, is there any way they had some sort of permission? Like, I mean, do you think there's any possible way?
In Kick's terms of service, it says all content creators post is theirs.
So they're saying the Super Bowl is their content by posting that?
I think they're pushing it onto the creators. So I think instead of going after Kick, the NFL is going to have to go after.
So what other content was on there? Like before pre-Super Bowl, just
they
whatever
talked about
they would
doing
just stream.
Gambling. Aiden Ross went through Pornhub. Yep.
He just like
scrolled through Pornhub, was streaming porn.
Oh, that's like a hack fucking radio show.
It's
I used to read categories and shit.
Yeah, it is a hacked radio show. He talked about he's gonna do prank calls on there.
Jesus. So. I mean, we do prank calls, but
not in a hack way.
And it's not our whole show. We don't have a segment where we go, hey, here's our prank calls. And then it's a clear recording.
Yeah.
That you know of.
Yeah. I think if anybody listens to local radio, you've heard it.
Right. And they're all bad. Typically. Yeah. The prank calls are never good.
If you like it, I'm not sorry.
No. Just like when you said, I'm not sorry to people who like Subway.
Yeah, and I'm still not.
Which I also got some love for that. People saying that it is a mainstream thing, but you're just hating on them for that. They're the most popular franchise in the world. And it's a fine sandwich.
You should stick a sticker in Subway and then see if they start following. See if they listen to workers.
They might.
They'll recognize Meatball
I'll
Guy.
just write a sign at Meatball Guy. I'll put my John Hancock on it.
There you go. Hancock it real quick.
I'll Hancock that.
All right.
You got anything else, or is that
the
way you said? All right. Okay.
Yeah, the XFL.
I like some of the rule changes. I was reading about them after we watched a little bit of that game. I do like it.
I picked a team solely off of how their logo looked with no prior research.
Sure.
San Antonio Brahms or
Brahms. Brahma Bowl.
Brahmas, whatever they are.
No, it's Brahm.
And yeah, I watched their first game, and in typical Browns fashion, which the Browns is my NFL team, they lost at the very end of the game because of the crazy rules. Because the other team, which had A.J. McCarron on it, finally learned how to pass, and they had a chance to either kick the ball, do an onside kick, or they could take it and do a 15 and from fourth down, and they made the pass and then made the drive.
That was their kickoff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Instead of a kickoff.
Okay, I thought you were saying as an
they
extra
could keep
point.
The ball if they made it.
Yeah, so instead of an onside, you go for it on 4th and 25.
4th and 15.
I thought it was 4th. It is 4th and 15. People were saying it would need to be 4th and 25 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because, like, guys get
better
a lot better.
Yeah.
But I do like that. I also like the kickoff. I like that a lot better.
Yeah.
But having them all lined up, more returns. But I think you would have to move it back. Same thing with the NFL for just better kickers. I mean, it's touchbacks 90% of the time with where the ball is now.
Right.
But that's a way to eliminate injuries and allow returns to still happen.
Did you end up picking a team for the XFL or no?
I'll just observe from afar, but I'm not going to.
I know you were stoked about Josh Gordon.
I was just hyped to see him because I forgot he was in that. There's a few Buckeye, like Cardell Jones, I believe. I'm not sure if he still is. I think he's still on the team. And he was like the only one that came close to 300 yards, I guess, because the issue they have is quarterback play and line play. I mean, that's the key to the league is if they can get better quarterbacks and better line to protect them. Because otherwise, it's low scoring. You got to run the ball. Runners are getting fucked up.
I don't know. I still plan on following this season.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying, yeah.
It's been great. So far, I've liked it other than watching my team lose, just like I had to watch the Browns lose all the time.
Right.
And speaking of the Browns,
yes,
I am more pissed now about the Deshaun Watson contract.
Why?
Because of how much cap it takes.
It hasn't changed. It's the same contract.
But I didn't pay attention as much. Like, I knew it was a crazy contract, but especially after he shit the bed the first season.
Yeah, when he had to sit out for literally a year and a half.
Still, it is so much fucking cap, and we need this guy to do well for the next 4 years.
Which he probably will.
Or else we're fucked.
He probably will, though.
Hopefully, we'll see. Browns haven't had a great record, so...
No, but, I mean, he was a good quarterback on a bad team, so who knows?
I'm going to be mad if that cap starts making us drop some of our better players that I enjoy.
That's what could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone you don't have under contract for the next couple years, probably out of there.
Probably.
Was that it?
That's all.
Because that Browns one seemed like you kind of just picked up on it.
No, I had it.
Okay.
I was excited.
Some local news that I wanted to get into, but then we just didn't really research them. But some Toledo stuff. A Toledo woman died of a dog attack in her backyard.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, horrible. At the zoo, they had to deliver anti-venom to somebody.
Okay.
An after-hours bar had a mass arrest happen because it's either a legal bar or noise complaint. I don't really know.
Yeah, that's...
What bar? Do you know what this is?
No, I know there was somebody shot at a bar that used to do that all the time. It's out by the Jeep plant. I think it's called Zingers or something, but don't quote me on that. Could have a different name.
What is after hours? Is that just...
Like, those bars normally stay open after hours because the third shifters get off, and then they give
Gotcha. That's what I thought it meant, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and then, speaking of the zoo, I had a buddy that worked there. Do you know they have a whole team of, like ex-SWAT people who are... You won't see them, but they're moving around with, like, trank guns and watching video feed and stuff to be able to trank an animal if they have to.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's just something cool that I never thought of when I went to the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I really wanted to get into this one, but I'll just read the headline. The Toledo DA is suing a contractor who stole $54,000 or more from customers. Seems like a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a pretty big deal. It's a lot of money.
Yes. So I got for that. Oh, and longtime radio host Gary Shore passed away, which
R.I.P.
means there's an opening in local radio. 3
Pick us
died.
up. No, I'd rather this not become a radio show, but maybe. We do it
I mean,
all in one take anyways, so we
right.
could do it live.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like this would lend itself to that, but that was a complete joke. But down the road, who knows? Maybe we'll do our own radio show on our network or something.
Yeah, because I'd rather not have other people decide what our
That's the
content's
biggest
like.
thing. I don't want to have the 9. Some program director come in and tell us to hit the fucking clock.
3 dot's not really doing it. What if we put you on at 3 and you're just the 3?
Oh my god, that's great. Yeah, no, fuck that. And there's no outro music again because Vin Diesel until we reach out to him, which we should. We should have done a prank call.
I thought you were gonna call Mike.
Fuck, we should have called Mike too.
Call him.
What are we gonna say? Just hi? I mean,
Let's see what his take is on your Subway.
no. What what his take is on my Subway?
He was there, right?
Sure. Well, I understand that I'm crazy. I understand that he's gonna be like, yeah, I didn't even think about it. It's a me issue. I understand that. I'm acknowledging that.
Okay, as long as you know. I guess we won't call
I'm
Mike.
well aware. I don't know what if you have something to say. You want to just talk to him?
Yeah, I mean,
We'll just put you-
talk to him.
We'll just call him and we'll just put you on with him. Make sure
Sounds good.
make sure you say live to tape. I screenshot the call on accident. Get in here. He's not going to answer.
Speaking of last names, his last name's Killhorse?
No, that's how he is on my phone, though.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh, and he's not going to answer. He's missing
You
his
told
big.
him to be ready.
I did. He's missing his big break.
Sounds like number one
might
runner
have
for the
to-
producer just
Opened up. I'm going to have to call.
Hi, this is Mike.
Damn.
Oh, son of a bitch.
We tried.
We
gave you a
might
shot,
have to
Mike.
call Murph to get an update on a dog. Has he got a foster number dog?
A new tradition. He
We're
just
gonna call
fosters
Dave.
the dog and then he gives it
Just
to...
talk to Dave.
All right.
We're just going to cold call.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, Dave. Live to tape on 3 dot.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing, brother?
Man, I was just working on my truck. It was a real good truck until it stopped running.
Well, I know the problem. You ain't got no gas in it.
Man, I thought that was true. And I went over and I went to the gas station and I ran out of gas. And they told me that this was an Applebee's and you can't be here.
God damn it. I hate when that happens.
What's going on, man? Tell me what you're doing.
Well, we're just, recording the podcast here. Nick was telling us about him having a stressful situation with a Subway sandwich. And he also thinks your guys' break room's set up in an awkward way. Because when you walk in, everybody has to look at you.
They have to look at me?
No, whoever's walking in late.
Dude, Nick's always walking late. And this Subway obsession of his, I don't think it's healthy.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
So
You shouldn't be
Subway
known as
called me
Meatball
the
Guy.
other day, and they were looking for Nick because they hadn't seen him in a couple days.
That's not true. I was there yesterday again.
But
Who the
if he
hell
ends
was I
up
talking
dying,
to?
they'll know. Because he won't show up.
Oh, James, hey, I gotta thank you for doing the research on the 365.
The Pleasure
By the way.
365
Oh,
reviews.
thank you, Dave.
Here.
I'm glad your name didn't come up in there. That'd be awkward.
Well, my wife and I have drove by it several times, like on Christmas, and we're like, why is there so many cars there? Who needs dildos
On Christmas.
It's a dildo emergency.
Yes. Sorry, kids. No presents under the tree. I gotta go to 365.
Need a little GHS,
Yeah. He gets
He's
it.
a big listener. Dave, I also pitched our TLC idea of you and Carl.
Oh, yeah. Carl's kind of on the DL right now. He's in Vermont.
The wife's
I don't think he
around.
listens.
The wife's
I hope
around.
He doesn't listen. If he does, Carl, I'll be home this weekend.
Dave, thank you very much for at least answering the phone.
Hey, no problem.
We
Anytime.
we tried to call Mike and he didn't answer, so you were on the hot seat here.
Well, there's probably a reason. He's an observer.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy's a
He
big
gets it.
fan. This is
Yeah.
our biggest fan right here.
He gets it.
I got a tattoo. 3 dots. I won't tell you where, but I'll let you think about
Put
it.
that on a bumper sticker.
There we go.
My tattoo?
Yeah, you put it where a bumper sticker would go.
Okay. See, he gets it.
All right, Dave. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, sure thing.
See you, bye. Great call.
Great guy.
Great call. Big fan. He's dropping references like crazy.
Yeah, he's got him on lock.
That was actually amazing to have it.
Also, I did the discovery for him and his wife. Now they
Yeah.
know why it's so busy.
Well, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
People are talking. I do. It's amazing because that's the first time. Well, not the people like talk to me about the show, but he had references. Just he clearly listens a lot because that was off the top of his head.
Multiple episodes.
Just nailing references. I don't know if it picked up enough because I was looking at the screen. So we might have to edit it out. So if so, sorry, Dave, but we'll see. We'll
I'll
listen
get
to
that
it.
truck working, Dave.
All right, this has been the 3 Dot Podcast. Cue Vin Diesel music. Louder.
Oh.